Which unbeaten powerhouse will become king of college football? We will answer all those questions and more as we get up with you starting right now on a fabulous Monday off an incredible weekend. Greeny, Rex Ryan is here and ready to go, and we're not alone. We got Dan Orlovsky with us this morning. We got Ryan Clark working on very little sleep but fired up. And we are ready to roll because we've had 6 games this weekend, but we've saved the best for last. Tonight, of course, we've got in Miami, Alabama and Ohio State for college football's national championship. You'll see it on ESPN, and we will get you ready for that after we take you through this. The upset of the night, Dan Orlovsky, Steelers, Browns with absolutely everything going against them all week. Their coach isn't there. All the COVID concerns, barely practiced. But then the very first play from scrimmage, Dan, what?
Well, Marcus Pouncey's going to step hard to his left, and when he goes hard left, that right hand in that shotgun snap always going to drift high and right, and he knows it. That completely is on him. Horrible start for Pittsburgh.
That's the first offensive play of the game, and then it gets worse.
Panic with the football. The pressure on Big Ben. He panics with it. That ball sails on him, trying to find that check down. Awesome job by Cleveland. Catch the ones they get thrown to you.
The Browns take over, and they turn to Jarvis Landry, and Jarvis Landry does the rest.
Greeny, it was a really good job on the route with him widening, getting away from the defender. We know he's great with the yards after the catch once the ball's in his hands.
14-0, but they're just getting started. Here comes Kareem Hunt. It's 21-0.
Big boy football by Cleveland's offensive line. A remarkable cut by Kareem Hunt, and then the ability just to finish near that goal line.
Now, hold on. We're still in the first quarter. Steelers 2nd and 20. Ben, oh, you're kidding me.
High and hot. The throw is high and it's hot to Deontay Johnson. We know that he's had some drops this year. Again, Cleveland did a great job of just catching tips and overthrows. You've got to catch those against playoff football teams. Their defense showed up and did that last night.
And so a pick leads to a Kareem Hunt touchdown, and then another pick leads to another Kareem Hunt touchdown, and the Cleveland Browns become the first team with 28 points in the first quarter of a playoff game since 1969. Second quarter, Dan, more of the same. Are you kidding?
This is by Marcus Spears. Marcus Spears has been telling everybody for 2 months, playing the Steelers, defensive line, get your hands up and get those tips. Greeny, I love this play from Baker Mayfield. Might be my favorite play of the night. Look at the effort right here to go get that first down near the end of the first half.
You think he didn't want it last night, playing without his guru, without his play caller? And then he finds Austin Hooper, and it is 35-10 Cleveland at the half. So you figure that's a wrap. Well, actually, you'd figure wrong. Steelers had a comeback in them. Roethlisberger, Eric Ebron, when he decides to catch it, he's pretty good.
Absolute dime by Big Ben as their offense got hot. We saw a lot of conversations, the aggressive 4th down call. He finds Juju Cross in the field, number 4 in their progression. Their offense got some rhythm once Big Ben took over.
35-23, they're right back in the game, but then this was the biggest play of the night.
This ends it. This is the game ender. An awesome situational play call from the stands by Kevin Stefanski. Chubb and that offensive line operates it perfectly.
And then for good measure, Ben Roethlisberger throws his 4th pick. So here are the numbers on Ben. 47 of 68, 501 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks, in tears as he walks off. Baker Mayfield and the Browns, what a win.
We're here for a reason. There's a new standard, and I keep talking about it. No, I wasn't here for the things that have happened in the past, some of which I was too young to even remember. And there's a new standard, and we're going to, try and keep it that way.
A dominant performance like this, what does it say about who you guys are? Who are the Cleveland Browns right now?
We're the Cleveland Browns. Same old Cleveland Browns.
That's what Juju Smith-Schuster called them on Wednesday, and now those words come back. So much to say. Orlovsky, I'm starting with you. With everything this team has been through, how would you describe what the Cleveland Browns accomplished last night?
That's the most impressive win I have ever seen in my life. In my life. I mean, this is a team that hasn't practiced football in 3 weeks. They're going on the road against a 12-win team that has absolutely dominated them for more than 15 years. They don't have their head coach. They don't have multiple assistant coaches. They're without multiple starters. And they did it because their offensive line was absolutely clinical. You talk about an offense that wants to run the football. Be good on the front side, great on the backside. Watch the backside here. Treader and Conklin. Vision, don't block the blitzer. Look at Treader's block to get out in front and Conklin to find that second-level linebacker to give Kareem Hunt that cut. And then the physicality to finish. I love that one. This 3rd and 3 is remarkable. You get motion, but watch the backside again by this offensive line. Conklin, Treader, you go get that backside linebacker. Conklin cut off. Now, Treader, you go get a body on a body on a body on a body. That's how you finish runs in the red zone in his offensive line. J.C. Treader and Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin and David Njoku. They were remarkable yesterday. It's the most impressive win I've ever seen. I have no idea how the Cleveland Browns won that football game. It shows remarkable leadership and a lot of leadership from their quarterback. If this was another quarterback who did what he did last night, we'd be sitting here going, oh my gosh, look at the leadership. They don't need their head coach. Baker Mayfield has grown up before our eyes this year. An incredible win by the Cleveland Browns.
RC, my resident former Steeler, what are your first thoughts this morning?
You know what? That the Cleveland Browns look more like the Pittsburgh Steelers historically than the Pittsburgh Steelers did. And obviously, I'm a former Steeler, right? So you want to focus on the Steelers. So if you do that, you say that the Steelers looked frantic, but the Cleveland Browns were poised. You say that the Steelers looked unprepared, but the Cleveland Browns looked like they had been in their building for the last 3 weeks working overtime. It looks like when you see the Cleveland Browns, they're the team that's ascending and that the Steelers are the team that is descending. And that's the truth. The Steelers have a quarterback that is old. The Cleveland Browns have a young quarterback who is now finding himself and finding his role as a leader. And when you think about what the Cleveland Browns did to the Pittsburgh Steelers last night, here is the most telling contrast to me. The Pittsburgh Steelers looked soft and the Cleveland Browns looked physical. When this was the black and blue division, when this was the division that you had to get your nose blooded in, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens sat atop that. Now the Cleveland Browns have put their name there. It's not always about the execution. It's not always about being prepared. Sometimes it's about looking the man across from you and looking in his face and saying, you can't beat me. Saying, I'm going to be more physical than you, and by the end of the night, you're going to wear it on your face more than I'm wearing it. And that's what we saw from the Pittsburgh Steelers last night. The Cleveland Browns came out and decided that they were going to take it to them, and the Pittsburgh Steelers wore it, and they're going to have to wear it for the rest of the offseason. And while they rebuild this offense, they'll remember that whipping that sent them home.
Rex, you were saying to me as we were walking in here, where was the tone for this game set?
Juju Smith-Schuster, he set the tone for this game. When he said, oh, yeah, same old Cleveland. Well, guess what? It ain't same old Cleveland, all right? And he said it like they were still the old badass Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, you ain't them. Ryan talked about it. You guys are soft. You don't even run the dang football. You got bloodied. You got beat to a pulp in this game. And right here, one team was ready to play. How the hell can you not be ready to play? This team doesn't even have a head coach out there, and they came out and said, oh, really? Thank you, Juju. We are now going to play the best damn game of our lives, and you're going to witness it. And you did witness it. So shut up, because, look, I've made some dumb comments and stuff like that before, but I'm going to show up at least. My team's going to show up. Your team never showed up, and that's the difference right there. If you're going to say some stupid thing like that, all right, your team better show up, and they didn't have your back. Nobody had your back. That team came out flat, and here's how they came out. They came out like they were a 1-5 football team. Oh, that's right. That's who they were. The worst thing happened to Pittsburgh was that they were 11-0. By the grace of God, the only reason. That was a 500 football team. All right, that team had no business being that way, but they thought that, hey, this is